Right. I love, the fact that we are from different parts of the UK, of the world, which is beautiful. I think we've got people here from Botswana, from Nigeria, from Luton. So why are we here today? So compliance, yeah, is the reason why we are here today. But before we get right into it, I would just like to introduce who you have on the other side and what we do to you. So I'll start by introducing the RQI group. Right, so the RQI group is a dynamic conglomerate consisting of about 5 businesses, all dedicated to enhancing diversity, inclusion, and empowering underrepresented professionals and business owners, right, to stand out and to live fulfilling lives regardless of where they might be physically situated, particularly for those in the UK. Right, so we've got RQI Careers is an ed tech company that help people transition to tech or even leverage tech and in-demand skills to stand out and live fulfilling lives. Right, so just hit 100. That's a very good one. So we've got Apply Body as well. Apply Body is an AI-driven tool that helps people apply to jobs, because we know we've all got busy lives. In as much as we are trying to get good jobs, we still have to pay bills in the interim, right? So finding the time to apply to jobs is one of the problems that we found that most people have, that also hindered them from completing their transition or career elevation journey. So we've got our podcast, which is like a weekly to bi-weekly series where we drop nuggets around professional advancement, starting a business, juggling business with 9 to 5, everything around career and businesses. Because guess what? Information is very key, right, in actually helping us get to where we really want to be, getting the right information, having the right models to look at who are actually successful and thriving in their fields. And we've also got the Limitless Without Borders, which is a CIC, is an events and transformational movements where we bring industry leaders, right, and all of that. So we're going to hear more about that anyway in a subsequent slide. We've also got the Immigrant Founders Network, a free network for immigrants founders to come together, share their struggles, a safe place basically. And we've got the RKY Digital Solution. So together, all of our businesses under the group are all committed, right? Our mission is to ensure that we uplift the underrepresented community. Right, so now let's talk a little bit more about RQI Careers, which is the one hosting the events we are here for today. So RQI Careers is a multi-award winning tech company that empower international professional students, to excel in the competitive global job market and secure their dream roles. We've helped people secure high-paying roles from 90K jobs, £500 per day, £1,000 per day. We boast of over 1,500 success stories of people who have leveraged our services and our boot camps and have landed, their desired jobs. Our impact isn't just local. When I say local, like just within our community, we've actually been recognized globally. We recognized globally from 2022, winning top 25, changing the face of education, to most recently winning the Career Support Organization of the Year in the UK, as well as being the top 6 UK tech startup, right, just recently. So that's to say something. We are doing something right. There might be lots of people doing similar to what we do, but our approach and the way we do things are different. Our bootcamps are practical experience focused, which is the reason. And what makes us stand out, as you can see, as part of the awards we've won, is the support. The support we give to our students actually stands out compared to what they might get elsewhere. Right, so a little bit about myself. Right, I'm the CEO of the RQI group, including RQI Careers. I've also won lots of awards as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, right? And yeah, basically. So how do we help people? How do all these 1,500 success stories we've said we boast of today, how did we get to it, or how Because guess what? Different people support businesses, but what you find or supports professionals, but what they do differs. So we do this through helping people acquire tech skills. Our trainings in data analysis and business intelligence, project management and business analysis, Excel and PowerPoint, Scrum Master product owner, digital marketing, compliance, KYC, AML, our AI master classes as well as our standalone services, CV optimization, career advisory, interview preparation, LinkedIn optimization, portfolio, and the most recently launched business coaching and business accelerator programs. Right. So just before we get right into other things we have planned today, I just need you in one word, because I plan to make this session as interactive as possible. When I say interactive, not only my background noise, but hearing from you guys as well. So tell me, guys, why are you in this meeting today? In one word, what do you intend to take out of this meeting today? Why are you in this session? What do you intend to take out? In one word, what do you intend to take out of this session today? Esther says knowledge. Beautiful. I love that. Let's keep it coming. We've got 107 people in the session, so let's keep the responses coming. I'm sure that if everybody responds, let it be me not being able to read out all the answers, yeah? Because it's a lot, yeah? Beautiful. Insights. Knowledge. Biodo wants to get a job from this session. Beautiful. Usman, career change, to learn. Transition, transformation, career progression, to know if compliance is right for me to learn. I love that, which you are going to do actually. But guess what? Like I said, we're a group of companies, and we're not all about just training. We are not just a training company. That is how we differ from other platforms or other places you might sell there. We know that what you need to thrive as an immigrant, as a person from the minority ethnic group in this UK, is more than just training. You need the support. You need, network. You need the right strategies, which is why we put together all that we do. And these are the things that lead to our success stories as well. So it's not just the training that gives us the success stories. Being a part of the community and everything we give within the community and provide for the community is what gives us the success story. So I'm happy to see that everything you have here is what we also have planned to cover today. But before we get right into all the things about compliance, I want to talk to you a little bit more about Limitless Without Borders, right? I recently shared with our internal alumni community about how personally all my moves and all the strategies I've been implementing so far is towards ensuring that the immigrants community, we are represented out there, to make sure that we have a seat on the table, to make sure that opportunities are available to us as well. I don't know if you guys are familiar with diversity, inclusion. Have you guys ever heard about it? What do you think what does diversity mean to you? What does diversity and inclusion mean to you? If you can't respond in the chat box. But one thing I found out is that, guess what? In as much as we have a lot of DEI programs, they don't cater for immigrants communities. Even the Black diversity programs do not cater for our unique challenges as immigrants, right? And that is where the problem lies. Everybody is saying that they are ticking the box for diversity and inclusion, but you go to them and ask, okay, so how many visa sponsorships opportunities does your company offer? Right. Olasunbo says proper representation for different groups. Exactly. However, how many of the representation that are being put out there actually covers our unique challenges, which is all what I'm all about. Anytime I see a DEI professional, or I always approach them and ask them, where is the place of immigrants in your DEI programs? But guess what? As much as it's good to also try to fight for representation, sometimes it's also good to create our own community, create our own table. If it looks like we're not getting a place on the table, we are not being awarded, we are not being, then create our own for our community. That's one thing we can do about it. And that is all I'm always doing in all my networking in the global space. My goal is to make sure that immigrants also have a place on the table, either by creating our own table for ourselves, or by making sure that, I continue to talk about, immigrants, our challenges and all of that. Talk about getting a mortgage. As immigrants, right, there are some blockers you would face in terms of, even if you have your cash, there are still some banks that won't lend to you just because of the kind of passport or visa you hold, right? Talk about getting a job as well. Even if you have the right or best skills, there are some jobs that you would, even if you are the best, even personally, I've been denied a job, even though I was the only one that made it through to the last stage, just probably because of maybe the way I sound, or just for one very systemic, I don't want to use the word issue, But what am I trying to say? This event is our own event, done for us by us, where we're going to be celebrating trailblazers and visionaries within the immigrant community. If you're on this call and you have bought your tickets to the LWB events, let me see your hand up. So what are we going to be doing that day? We're going to be having panel discussions around career, tech, finance, entrepreneurship, and much more. We're going to be celebrating trailblazers. By the way, nominations are now up. Only Ibrahim out of the 107 people. Admin, please drop the link. Guess what? This is more like a CSR event, because for all of what we are bringing to the table is just £15. Early bird tickets end today. If you hear about networking, if you have never gone for a networking event, then this is the one to go. And if you've gone for networking events before, where probably you don't seem represented, then this is your own networking event. If you also have a business, you have an opportunity to, exhibit to your market. 1,000 attendees. There's never been an event, like this before. We've been doing Limitless Without Borders in previous years, but this year we are scaling it because we know that more people actually need, what we are all about. Yeah, the venue has just been secured at the auditorium in Greenwich. Last year we had people travel from Manchester, from different parts, Scotland, all to come and attend or even speak at the event. So this year, what are we going to be doing differently? We're going to be having an award ceremony as well. So go ahead and nominate somebody that is a trailblazer, either in the career side or business side of things. Get your tickets. It's just £15 today. The tickets ends today for £15. After today, it's still available, but it goes to £25. Yeah. For the standard, and then we have VIP. So make sure you secure your slots to make sure you attend this event. We're going to be bringing panelists. Over 20 speakers are going to be there across board. We're going to be having exhibition, workshops, right? So much more. There's also going to be DJ, music, refreshments, raffle. There's also going to be opportunity to win, to win cash presents and other presents, right? So if you want to elevate your career, if you want to bring your dreams of starting and running a successful 6 to 7 figures business in the UK to reality, you want to network to get contacts that will take you to the next level in your career, then definitely you want to actually attend. But this event is not a small event. You're actually talking to the Office of the Mayor of London and so many other dignitaries to attend. Banks and employers are going to also be exhibiting to get talents. So if you are looking for a job, you're looking for contacts, you're looking to grow your network, definitely secure your slots. And the advantage of being here today is the fact that you can still secure it at the early bird prices. We've got a social media account. It's Limitless Without Borders. You can follow it to stay tuned to catch up on everything that is going to be happening. So I digress. If you have bought your tickets as we speak, if you have clicked on this link and bought your tickets, Ibrahim and Karimat, thanks for confirming that you've bought your tickets. If you're on this call and you have now bought your tickets after I mentioned this, please, let's see your hand as well. Or if you'll be buying your tickets before the end of this session, let's see your hand up. So I think I've used up, my time to talk about other uplifting things that I think we all need. Because guess what? Even in my personal journey as a business owner, I've seen that going to networking events, if you follow me on LinkedIn, Rukayat Alabi, you'll see how I go to networking events. And I've seen how all of these things, how these networking events are meeting new people, telling your story, talking about your experience. Guess what? There's somebody looking for the unique skill set you have. Whatever it is you are doing, whatever business you are running, there's somebody looking, there's somebody that your story would actually, change their life, or they'll find it really interesting and unique for them to actually invest in you. So make sure you secure a ticket. I love that question. Are children allowed? We're making plans to to make sure children are allowed. It's a very big, we have the entire building for the day, so definitely children are allowed, but to which age and all of that would have to confirm to you. Right. So I think I'll leave it at that. For if you have a business that you want to exhibit, either tech, or product based, send us a DM, or send us a DM on RKY Careers or on Limitless Without Borders page to find out what's the what it takes. So now let's get right into what we are here to do today. Right. So the recording of this session will be available on YouTube, RKY Careers YouTube. So make sure you subscribe so that you can get the recording. So what is compliance? Guys, what does compliance mean to you? Thank you, Perpetua. Thank you, baby. Okay, I have baby up as your name. So thank you. So what does compliance mean to you guys? Let's talk about compliance. What does compliance mean to you? In your current industry, what you do at the moment, what does compliance mean to you? Let's use the chat box for the response, please. Abiding to rules, adhering to rules, obeying policies of a company, doing things according to set rules. You are all perfectly right. Compliance is all about adhering to laid down rules by regulators, right? It could be internal policies, it could be external policies, it could be regulators, it could be different bodies that guide. So yes, what does compliance entail? Right, within the concept of what we are going to be talking about today, it's encompasses of a wide array of rules, regulations, ethical standards that businesses, individuals, and organizations must adhere to. Right. So if you want to transition to the compliance field, what are the things that are essential? So the first one will be a very good knowledge of the legal or industry knowledge. So if you are, depending on the industry you are getting into, because guess what, compliance is relevant across industries. So depending on the industry you are getting into, having an industry knowledge or legal knowledge, right? If you are going to the legal side of things, is very important. Just before I jumped into this call, somebody that's I'm a marketing expert sent me a DM, and what the DM says, I'm going to read it out just now, was one sec. So the person said, oh, kindly advise your marketing guys to pay key interest in the AML and compliance skills. A lot of startups are recruiting marketing people in the same that have the skills, including banks. I applied to 3 roles this week looking for a marketing person with experience in the compliance and AML industry. And the person went ahead to share with me, the particular role. So it's a legal and compliance field, and they need marketing guys in that space. They have about 5 roles open. That's just marketing. I know that, across different industries, compliance and AML is very, very relevant. So before we get right into this, what industry do you currently operate? Let's know what industry you currently, operate. Right. So another thing that is very important is regulatory framework. We need to familiarize ourselves with the specific regulatory bodies and agencies that are relevant to our field. Different fields have different regulatory bodies that protect them. One thing I always say in these sessions when I have them is, tell me the regulatory body that actually protects your industry, and I will tell you what your industry is. So let's do that very quickly as well. Tell me your regulatory body, and I will tell you what your industry is. So I've seen all of you, different people introduce themselves. Beautiful. So Blessing says, Ofgem. What industry would that? Okay, I've got FIC. You guys will need to put the full names. So Similarly says FIC, but it's good because guess what? Awareness about your regulatory bodies is actually very important, because if you don't even know who regulates your industry, how can you even be compliant? How can you adhere? How can you adhere to this regulation? Beautiful. I've got CQC. I know CQC. Right, I know CQC is health and care, FCA is finance, that's banking and finance, yeah. Ofgem, right, FIC, SIA industry, beautiful. GDPR, CMA, FCA, that's also finance. GDPR actually covers every HCPC, Beautiful. HSE, IRDA. You guys might need to help me with the full names. But beautiful. I love the fact that we are aware and we know the regulatory bodies that actually regulate our respective industry, and that is to tell you that compliance is actually very relevant. There are compliance rules within your industry as well. Office of Gas and Electricity, beautiful. I'm sure that's the energy specialist we have in the house. So beautiful. Across industries, compliance is relevant. So understanding if you are going, for instance, into banking as a compliance person, then you need to understand the banking space, the industry knowledge about banking, right? And then you also need to understand, the regulatory framework and who the regulators are, right? So for instance, we have FCA for the financial, and we have ICO for data protection and all of that. Then we've got training and education. You see, you can't get compliance. You can't just you can't wing it. Some people say I want to wing it. You can't wing compliance. You need to have adequate knowledge, right, about the compliance industry. And it's not even about one-off bootcamp. You need to continue to upskill and make yourself abreast of the regulations, because guess what? Regulations always change. They don't stay static. There could be a way that things are done now, and tomorrow they've changed policies. They've changed what are acceptable, what are no longer acceptable. It's just even like driving. Today, you can park in this space. Tomorrow, you can't say, oh, but because I could park there 3 weeks ago, I shouldn't be fined. That's not the way it works. You need to keep yourself abreast of what is new in your industry. You need to continue to educate yourself and make yourself aware of the new policies, and all of that. Data protection and privacy measures. This is very important. Across all industries, we've got the data protection, for the health and care. I think we have I don't know if it's in the US, we have the, is it HIPAA law they call it, where you can't divulge, somebody's health records to third parties. We've also got financial compliance, as well. Right. So in terms of skill sets, what are the transferable skill sets that are good for the compliance industry? Analytical skills. Ability to analyze and identify risks is very important, because one of the key things you'll be doing as a compliance person is risk assessment. Because when you do risk assessments, you'll be required to place, situations, people's profiles and all of that into different risk buckets, either low risk, high risk, and all of that. So being analytical, is very important as a compliance professional. Problem solving, regardless of the role you are getting into in 2025, problem solving is very important. Nobody wants an employee that is just always identifying problems and cannot think of ways to solve the problems. Being able to come up with effective solutions that solve the problems we've identified is also very important. Identifying problem and being able to recommend solutions to solve them. The next one is communication skills. Communication skills, is very important. Regardless of the role, you get into, you need to be able to communicate, not just orally, but also written, presentation, and all of that. You need to be able to articulate your points, let's even forget about the role itself. You want to communicate with your manager, with your directors, you want to make a present. You need to be able to articulate your thoughts. You need to be able to present, you need to be able to do presentation slides, one-pagers for your directors and all of that. So ethical judgments and integrity, ensuring that organizations operate within ethical guidelines and maintain a culture. But guess what? If you don't even know what the right and wrong is, how can you know where you or what you have done, on behalf of your company? How would you know whether you have actually positioned your company in a risk, in a position that can get them fined, or get them penalized? Confidentiality, very, very important. Safeguarding sensitive information and maintaining discretion. If you ask me, who is compliance really for? Compliance is usually to protect people. Compliance roles, compliance systems, compliance generally is usually to protect people. If you look at the health and care industry, why do we have CQC? Why do we have the regulators? It's to protect the vulnerable. It's to ensure that, companies are not just after profits alone. So CQC will ensure that if somebody is supposed to get 1-to-1, they get the 1-to-1. They are not put 1-to-5 ratio. For those that are in health, I'm sure you guys can relate to that. Also in the banking sector, there are so many risks that can actually be perpetrated. There's so many fraud and so many, even with your money, with your funds, even beyond even our own funds that they need to protect, right? The banking sector can also be used to encourage terrorism and all of that. However, if there's a very strict compliance system and anti-money laundering system in place, it will be difficult for people who want to perpetrate evil activities to get funds moving around, right? So that's why compliance is very important. And that's how sensitive your role will be as well, when you become a compliance professional. Say, for instance, look at even the onboarding process. How many of you have wondered why it's not possible for someone else to actually be misplaced or mistaken for you, even though there are so many people that bear your exact name right out there? There are so many people that bear your first name and second name. However, you will not log in one day mistakenly and it's another person's account that you're logging into. It's because onboarding has been done. There's been something done to ensure that everybody's unique data is obtained, to make sure that they separate person A from person B. They will not mistakenly go arrest another person for a crime somebody that bear their exact name has committed, because there are some data, that has been obtained that differentiates person A from person B. Right. So what are the other skills we need in compliance? Risk assessments, continuous development, like I said earlier, documentation and record keeping. Guess what? This documentation and record keeping is not even only in compliance, across roles. In compliance particularly though, if you don't have a record that you've obtained, like a KYC or whatever documentation from a client, there's nothing like I saw it. You have to have it documented. It has to be filed. If it's not, then it doesn't exist. So documentation is very important. If you obtain a KYC document or whatever, if you pass through a process, it has to be documented such that when any third party comes and audits you, they are able to see that, oh, this is in place. That is in place. Then GDPR is very important. I'm sure we all know what GDPR is. Data protection, financial sanctions, strategic thinking, KYC, legal industry. Anyone keen on sufficient interest trading can switch. Anybody can switch. Even if you don't have these skill sets, you can learn them. And anybody can become a compliance professional. So here are some career paths that you can leverage. And you know what I love about the compliance field? We've had a lot of people get different kind of roles because they already have a unique advantage they were bringing to the table. They had some unique skill sets. So it depends on what, like you've just heard me read about the marketing one. Compliance plus marketing, there's something it will give to you. So what's that current skill set you have? How can you add compliance skill sets to it to now stand out? The market right now is about what more can you bring to the table. Being a compliance professional only is not enough. Being a data analyst alone is not enough. Obviously, being a marketing professional alone is no longer enough. It's about what more can you bring to the table. Imagine somebody going for a marketing interview and they're asking you about KYC AML. Like, how does it relate in the normal sense? But guess what? That is what the markets now look like. Right? The market is about one more. So that's why we need to continue to educate ourselves. We can't limit ourselves. Even if you've gotten a job, even if you've gotten visa sponsorship, it doesn't end there, because guess what? You'll find yourself back in the market. Maybe not because you've lost your job, but because you need to check what is out there for you. Right? You want to check what is out there for you. You want to apply for other roles. And you can see what the salary looks like in the compliance space. So even if you don't start in these ranges, that at least you're in a career path that doesn't just stop you, at the 20K, 30K kind of salaries. And there's room for you to continue to grow. So why pursue a career in the compliance field? One thing I would always say is the high demand for compliance professionals. There's a very high demand because compliance professionals are needed across industries. See health and care. There are compliance rules there. I don't know if you guys can help me. What compliance rule, based on your industry, have you identified, or do you know that, exist in your company? What compliance rule have you been eyeing or have you heard about either in your current company or, across industries? I want the results or the responses to this to be across industries, right? So that I can mention some myself, but like I said, I want it to be as interactive as possible. But guess what? There's a very big demand for compliance professionals, from health and care to finance to startups, right? to energy industry, just like some people mentioned here, right? Even engineering, right? So there's a high demand for compliance professionals. Career stability. Compliance is one of those fields that guarantees you some level of stability because there's a room for career growth. It's not a career path that you would start and then in some months' time, you are looking for something else to do. Diverse career opportunities. Not all compliance roles have the same job titles or have the same titles. We've had our students get risk manager, risk assessments manager, compliance analyst, AML analyst, KYC analyst, right? Account managers, account officers, investigators, periodic review analysts, and so much more. Global relevance. Regardless of where you go to, there's always a need for compliance. And that's why we have the regulatory body that's central, like FATCAs and all of them, and the rest. You might just need to learn what is most relevant in your own industry. But guess what? Most of these regulations, they mirror each other, right? So competitive compensation, professional growth, and global regulatory trends. So, right. So at this point, I'm going to introduce you to the RKY Careers Compliance Bootcamp. Right. So, but before we get right into it, what would you like your next job title to be? What kind of roles are you aiming for in your next role? I've got over 135 people on this call at the moment, but I'm not getting as much interactions as I love. So, what's going on, guys? The weather is brightening up. In fact, the time is changing. It's not today or tomorrow that the time is changing. Let's have that summer vibes. Guys. What roles are you going to be aiming for? What's your next target role? Can you guys still hear me? Hope I've not been talking to myself.
Yes, we can.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I can see the responses coming. Probably there's a lag or something. Right. So Blessing is going for regulatory compliance officer. Compliance officer for a start from Fumi. Sonyaolu says housing compliance manager. Beautiful. Fumi says, yes, we can hear you. Beautiful. Shepa says AML investigator. Olayinka says compliance analyst. Allah says KYC analyst. You know why I love all these responses? They're achievable. So let's get right into what the RKY Careers Compliance Bootcamp is all about. Right. So our bootcamps are practical experience focused, where we not only train you, but we also give you practical work experience to stand out in the job market. We know the market is all about work experience. And that was why we sat down and we designed our bootcamps to make sure that they not only tick just one box, they tick multiple boxes that are unique, right, to our community. So is it about the knowledge? You get it. Is it about the practical work experience? You get it. Is it about, the reference that you need to show that, or the portfolio of projects to show that, oh, I actually have experience in this? Is it about preparing for the interviews, right, where we actually guide you as to this is exactly how to position yourself, how to showcase your skills, how to combine your previous experience plus your new experience to stand out? You'll get all of that. Or is it about when you now get the interview, even though you've been prepared and all of that, having somebody or having a community you can go to for post bootcamp interview prep support? You also get it, where we analyze your JD together and guide you as to, okay, these are the questions to prepare. This is exactly what to do. You get all of that. Or even bonus courses. Just last week or 2 weeks ago, I don't know if there was anybody here that was in the AI class. All our alumni, they got free artificial intelligence masterclass. Right. This was another separate certification course to add to their CV. Guess what? Like I said, we know what is demanded and required in the job market. And that's why we make sure that our students they come ready, they come prepared. right, to get the job. And it's not just about, oh, the boot camp is over. There's still always different sessions that we bring. We have our monthly webinar. This month end, for instance, we're having somebody come to talk to us about how to position yourself for new entrance visa. A lot of people are trying to get visa sponsorship jobs, but they think that, oh, because it's 38K or something. Let's mute ourselves, guys. But there are people that already have jobs, and the companies are happy to keep them, but they don't want to. Admin, can you mute that person? The companies. Abisola Ajayi. Okay, cool. Right. Like I said, we bring different people. Last month it was global talent. This month is about the new entrance visa. We just keep bringing people that would, and also we have the events. We have the monthly webinars. It's just the best community to be a part of, to be honest. If you want to actually thrive in the UK. So before we continue, let's just show you a little bit about our reviews, before I get right into it. So these are like third-party platforms, because I know we share lots of success stories on our page, and people will think, oh, okay, success stories, but this one, you can also go yourself, go to Trustpilot, search for RKY Careers, go to Google Reviews, search for RKY Careers. You can see that all our reviews are 5-star reviews from our current students. So you can see their real situations. My wife shared RKY Careers link with me, and they said that, and I can say that I had no regrets. The learning experience was great. The CEO Rukayat Alabi, the tutor Lumi, and the team are one of the best hands I've ever. RKY has the best hands, exceptional learning session, weekly drop-in sessions, worth your time and money. RKY Careers, no regrets whatsoever choosing them. It's the best place to be. If you are looking for a platform, a space, and community where the best optimization tech-related services are offered, then it's RKY Careers. And then we have another person. I can't thank RKY Careers enough for their outstanding compliance course. Oh, this is even compliance related. The course was incredibly well structured with comprehensive contents that bridged theoretical knowledge and practical applications seamlessly. The instructor was knowledgeable, approachable, and always willing to go the extra mile to ensure we fully understand the material. The skills and insights I gained from the course not only boosted my confidence, but also gave me a competitive edge in securing my position. RKY didn't just provide training, they provided a stepping stone to my professional success. If you are looking to break into compliance or enhance your skills, I highly recommend RKY Careers. It was truly a game changer for me. So these are third-party verifiable feedbacks that you can go yourself to check. Obviously, you can see their full names written there. They won't go and put it there if they're not, comfortable with it. My experience with RKY Career has been exceptional, and cool. So you can see best plug ever. Extremely remarkable experience I had during my bootcamp. The training were top notch, blah, blah, blah. And then you can see on Google side of things as well. I had an amazing experience with RKY Careers. Their team is professional, knowledgeable, and genuinely invested in helping job seekers succeed. They provided me with expert career guidance, a well-structured CV, and invaluable interview tips that boosted my confidence. Thank you for structuring my career journey. I had an excellent experience with RKY Careers. All of these people you have seen here, they've gone through our trainings and they've landed their jobs, and that's why they're happy to actually post, to share publicly, even with their profiles and all of that being shown. So that's just a little bit about our reviews. So what are the bootcamp perks you get? You get a live training, expert-led. So we are not one of those people that will train you and send you recordings and all of that. You get to work on real-life cases to boost your practical experience as well. Interview preparation, quizzes and competency tests, practical case studies, work reference for the projects you complete, certification, certificate of completion accredited by CPD, by the USA, American Council of Training Development in the USA, as well as listed on the UK government website, access to learning management system. So this learning management system is where all the data, all the resources that you need, either for the course itself, as well as after the course, to go back to where you have interviews, they are all within the LMS. Post bootcamp alumni support, CV and LinkedIn optimization at no extra cost or other costs, and the projects to be completed. Who can take this course? Early career beginners, foreign trained lawyers and ex-bankers, anyone seeking a career in compliance, KYC, AML, GDPR, accountants that want to also, in fact, everybody, because we've just heard the marketer saying that compliance, was what stopped him from actually getting his marketing related role. Then risk managers, CEOs, and corporate executives as well. Some competencies you will gain within our own bootcamp: comprehensive regulatory knowledge, KYC and AML knowledge, data protection, GDPR, financial sanctions, risk assessments, and mitigation. Some roles that you'll be able to apply for after the bootcamp: compliance officer, compliance analyst, AML analyst, risk analyst, KYC analyst, data protection analyst or officer, regulatory affairs analyst, AML investigator, compliance risk manager, quality control, KYC quality control analyst, policy and procedure analyst, and many more. Talking about visa sponsorship, is compliance an eligible field for visa sponsorship? Yes, it is. We've had some of our students who are actually looking for visa sponsorship also secure visa sponsorship in compliance. And guess what? It's not just skill sets that give people sponsorship these days. It's more about what more do you bring to the table. Being the best candidate for the job, regardless of the job title, being the best candidate for the job, and then you get to get all the perks that come with the job itself. But here are some codes that shows that compliance, that you can use as a compliance professional. So you can see 2482 compliance manager, quality assurance manager, quality manager, financial regulator, 3319 fraud analyst, the operations manager, investigation officer, immigration officer, and so on. So here are some of our success stories from our boot camps, KYC analyst, data systems and data auditor after the compliance boot camp, KYC analyst, compliance officer, principal auditor, and all of that. Right, here are some more success stories. And here's another success story as well. And there are some job titles that some of our alumni have secured after the bootcamp: KYC analyst, compliance manager, finance advisor. I think I mentioned a list of them earlier, but not limited to this. Guess what? You could even be that person that now get their marketing job title, job role, just because you are bringing compliance as an extra to the table. So what is that extra you are taking to the table when you're applying, for the next job? Right, so at this point, I'm going to welcome our guest speaker, who is Gbemisola Mistura Osunbajo. She's currently a client due diligence officer, and she's an alumni. So Gbemi is currently working as a CDD officer in a law firm. She enrolled for the RKY Careers Bootcamp 11.0 as a Nigerian trained lawyer who transitioned into compliance. Her decision to join the UK Compliance was due to her passion for assisting firms navigate complex regulations, ensuring that they are in alignment. It's been an amazing experience so far. So, Gbemisola, if you are there, thank you for accepting to speak in today's session. Is Gbemisola there?
Hi, Rukayat. I'm here.
Hi, Gbemi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, yes. So I was going to just speak briefly on my experience and doing my training. Yes, I mean...
Don't you mean by your boss? Stop it.
Sorry, let me help you mute.
Okay, cool.
I think you were all muted, so now you can continue. You have to unmute though. Yeah.
Yes, I just did. Yeah. So, like I said, I mean, coming into the UK and being a Nigerian trained lawyer, I knew that I needed to act fast. I knew that I needed to do something. And just on a fateful Saturday evening, I was scrolling through Instagram and I stumbled upon OutKY. I think there was someone that done their project management bootcamp with OutKY, and she just reposted them. I'm like, okay, I should look at this academy, which I did, and thank God, I'm really grateful for the day that I looked at the post. So I looked at it and I looked at, okay, I could do compliance. I wanted something not far-fetched from law, something that I can still be able to, like, maybe in future I can always go back to law. So I was like, okay, fine, let me look at this UK compliance. I looked at it and I knew that I was going to be done with my master's soon. I registered for the May bootcamp. Yes, that was last year, May. I registered for it. Our tutor was Lumi. We had classes for like, I think 5 weeks, and we had interview trainings, and it was fantastic. I mean, our tutor was really, really good, was excellent. I mean, the way he broke down the terms for us, and it was just it was a seamless process. It was a seamless transition. And I'm really grateful for Lumi because the way he did everything, we were able to catch up fast. And even after the every Thursday interview trainings really boosted my confidence. And after the old boot camp thing, I felt I was ready to like go into the job market, which I did. But as you would say, and Lumi would keep encouraging us, I mean, you're still going to get rejections, which I did. I started applying, I was getting rejections, getting interviews from like top firms because I wanted like a law firm. Do you understand? So my my job search was like limited to like law firms and also like other consulting firms. So I was getting emails, I was getting calls from recruiters. I mean, I would do one stage and then moving on to the next stage, they would tell me, oh, they have people that already they already picked other people, but I didn't give up. I mean, I kept attending the interview classes. I kept applying, and here in UK, when you're applying, you also have to like tailor your CV to each job description. So once I get like see a role that I'm interested in, I'll just pick up the job description, refine it to the last work experience and everything. And one thing that also boosted and helped me was the LinkedIn optimization you guys did. I mean, it was fantastic. I was getting messages from recruiters. They kept sending me DMs. They kept reaching out to me. They kept asking me to send my CVs to them, offering me roles. And I mean, even after doing that, I still kept getting interviews, and as I keep going for interviews, as I keep attending interviews, I keep building my confidence in KYC, AML, and TDD. Do you understand? So that's what I did that helped me. At some point, I felt discouraged. I felt like, oh, people were not getting back to me, but that didn't stop me. But I'm grateful to God that eventually I was able to like secure a role in the field that I wanted, in compliance field, as a customer due diligence officer, sorry, as a client due diligence officer with a top law firm in the UK. I mean, and the pay is actually what we all know is gonna be like. And I'm just really grateful to God that I made that bold step to join RKY bootcamp. And so you guys, if you are thinking about it, please don't think about it twice. Just do it. You need that work experience, you need that training, you need that LinkedIn optimization, you need that CV optimization, you need that work experience, to be honest. And I mean, RKY is just the best at it. I think I've been able to like tell you guys my little experience from your training. So over to you, Kayat.
Thank you so much, baby. Guys, are recruiters, in your DM? Are recruiters messages popping in your DM every other day? This is your cue to join the winning team. But anyway, congratulations to you, Gbemisola. Good to know that you got your desired role, right, in a law firm, right, which is like a progression in your career as well, right, as a Nigerian trained lawyer. I'm sure I have so many Nigerian trained lawyers. If you're a Nigerian trained lawyer on this call, let me see your hand up. I'm sure a lot of Nigerian trained lawyers or foreign trained lawyers, maybe Botswana or whatever country, most of you would struggle with, I used to be a lawyer. I don't want to go too far from law. But I know that I don't want to do SQE 1 or 2 or all those exams you need to do. Or maybe I want to do it, but not now, maybe later because it's expensive, maybe for so many reasons. Compliance is actually a career. You might even get into compliance and fall so much in love with it that you forget that you were ever a lawyer. Because there are actually roles that even are a blend of your compliance and legal experience together. And by the way, it's not just the legal or law people that would do compliance. We also have lots of people from banking experience, or even people without any experience at all. So thank you so much. Congratulations to you, Gbemisola. So let me just a final or quick one. How would you say the support was like, during the post bootcamp phase of things? Did you feel left alone to deal with your interviews, or how would you say the support was like?
Okay, yes. I think the every Thursday interview session really helped me a lot because I know that when sometimes when I face difficulties with interviews, like previous interviews, I get to the interview session every Thursday and then I ask questions. I say, "Oh, Lumi, I had this interview coming up and this is JD," and it will just try to like clarify. Do you understand? So the support was really really there, and also the fact that you guys send jobs like vacancies to the group chat to also helped a lot. So I felt like the support was really there. People were always really like willing to assist and even send you clues to the group chat on how to like answer the current questions. So I guess it was there. It was really good.
Great. Thank you so much for confirming that. So here, that's your cue, guys. If you're looking for like a place where you can get maximum support, because guess what? Lots of people go through training, right? And guess what? All of these are even offered for a fee separately. I know some people that say we'll give you work experience, come and do work experience. Some people say, come, we'll give you support and mentorship, come and do support and mentorship. But at RKY Careers, you get everything all in one, even more than you ask, because you don't even know the bonus course we are giving you next quarter. You don't know the bonus course we are giving you, so it's more like you're just in a place where value upon value is being offered to you, all to help you stand out. If we say do artificial intelligence, it's not for, we are not the one that is going to benefit for it. In fact, most of these sessions that we do as bonuses, we pay the trainers to come and teach you, and we don't charge anybody within the alumni community for this access. So thank you so much, Bemisola, for taking out the time. I know that there are so many other things you could be doing right now, but for taking out the time to come share your experience, and also because this is your own way of actually impacting others, because you've shared your experience today, I'm sure so many people will also be confident to take their steps. So this is your own way of giving back to the many others that will actually be making this decision, so that they can also land their desired roles, or be where they really wish to be. So we'll get right on from there. So what does the bootcamp really come, with? Like I said, the training, the CV and LinkedIn optimization has no extra cost. You've just heard me talk about the impact of the done for you CV and done for you LinkedIn. In 2025, people struggle to get recruiters enter their DM. But our own alumni, our own students, once we touch their LinkedIn, it's back to back for them. Back to back interviews. Some people are not even getting interviews. I used to tell people that, if you get interviews in 2025, treat it like it's going to be your last, because people are actually struggling to get interviews right now. And again, the fact that you are getting the interview and you still don't feel alone, because now you have to treat your interviews like, you have to guard your interviews, but you still have that support, where you can still get your preparation for the interview, and all of that is actually like the best. I didn't get this when I was in the job market like 6 years ago. I didn't get this, but as a result of not getting it was why I created it. Like, okay, let's look for what more can we do. When we started our Careers Bootcamp, this post bootcamp supports, they were not there as well. But we keep looking for how much value, how can we add value? What is the blocker? What are people struggling with? And all of that. So having said all of that, for everything that we've said you get, acquire skills and techniques, live expert-led trainings, expert CV and LinkedIn service, competency test, interview prep, post bootcamp on ending support, which also serves as an on-the-job support. Because, for instance, even Gbemisola, even though she's gotten a job, if she's facing a blocker tomorrow, she can still join the meeting, this weekly meeting or bi-weekly meeting, to get support. So there's no way you will get all of that, to be honest. I know so many people that in this industry that complain about the fact that when they need something extra, they're asked to pay. Post bootcamp support, access to the LMS for 12 months, UK work reference for the projects you do, globally recognized certificates of completion, ability to position yourself for global jobs, visa sponsorship, and all of that, and the alumni community and other perks like the events and all of that, that you still continue to, get to empower yourself, for the next level. For all of this we've mentioned, the value of this bootcamp should actually be over £2,000. In fact, I was recently also coached as well that based on what we are offering, our prices for all our bootcamps should be ×5 of the price. So, pending when we do that increase, you want to jump on the current offer at £599, right? And the next start date for this course is 5th of April. So you don't want to miss it. We're going to cover KYC, AML, sanctions, data protection, and all of that. And if you are joining from Africa or Nigeria, send us a DM and we'll let you know what the Nigerian rates are. The best part, you can actually pay in installments using Klarna, ClearPay, Pay Later, and PayPal in 3 to jump on any of the bootcamps. Yes, the class starts 5th of April? Yeah, 5th of April. That's next week, right? Yeah, 5th of April. And the classes are Saturdays, 4 to 6 p.m. for 5 weeks. I would encourage you to secure your slots now because, our prices are going up soon. We all know that all the prices of everything in the UK is going up in April. So is our prices. Because guess what? Even GP, your prescriptions are going to be at new price. Everything. My children's nursery, they send me new bill. Every April, I get new bill. So be ready for the new bill in April. But make sure you tap into this today at the current rates before the prices go up. So, also, we have a special offer for everybody that would, everybody needs a skill set in Excel and PowerPoint. As a compliance professional, having an Excel and PowerPoint skill set is also going to help you. And this one is just £50. You can do it alongside. It's £50 and it's starting as well on the 19th of April. So if you just want to 100%, I want to spend the rest of, this is also for 6 weeks. The next 6 weeks, I want to use it to develop myself so that when I get back into the job market like this, I'll be bringing more than one extra. I'll be bringing so many extras to the table. So you want to also, book the Excel. We would have loved to give the Excel course in addition, but guess what? We like to keep things separate because all our courses are intense. So it's better that, we have the curriculum and training and everything for Excel separate and everything for compliance and other courses separate. So you can also enjoy the £50 benefits to secure your slot for Excel. And you can combine the two. Excel is 2 to 4 and compliance is 4 to 6. Excel is Saturday and Sunday. Compliance is just Saturdays. So you can still combine it. At this point, you've had Lumi. You've seen Lumi in our review. You've had Lumi here, Lumi there. I'm going to introduce it to Lumi. Lumi is a UK, is a dual qualified solicitor, both in the UK as well as I think in Nigeria as well. So he's a foreign trained lawyer. He was a foreign trained lawyer at some points, just like you. And then he went ahead to also qualify here. But guess what? Despite qualifying here, he's back in compliance. Because what? He's going to tell you why. Why compliance is actually better than working as a solicitor here in the UK. Right. So for those of you that are dual qualified or foreign qualified lawyers, I'm sure you have questions for him. So he has a lot of certifications and all of that. You've got a lot of accolades. Lumi, I don't know if you are still there.
I am.
Right, exactly. Very briefly, we're going to also hear from you. Tell us about, yourself, your journey, and the bootcamp.
So thanks all, thanks you, and happy to talk about my own story and everything. So CU has broken down everything. I hope you guys can see me. I can't see myself in the camera for some funny reason, but I hope you guys can see me.
We've seen you before, but now it's just blank, but we can hear you clearly.
Yeah, apologies for that. I'll try and set it, but let's just go on with business. I also jackpot a long time ago, and one of the reasons why I became a trainer was because I also had the same challenges you guys or some of you are having or will also have after finishing your masters or applying directly from Nigeria. So at that point in time, I think I didn't have enough information on what's going on, and that further made it more difficult for me to break into compliance. It took me about 7 years to break into compliance. And I remember I was practicing in Nigeria in one of the big firms, and I relocated, and my first job, they just gave me a broom that's my first job and I was like shocked, and I wore a suit there, and I was like, what's going on here? And then reality just set in that, look, it's not going to be easy here. UK is not going to be easy. I would definitely need some support. I'll definitely need to figure things out. I didn't jackpot to come out and be doing all this kind of, jobs and everything. That, of course, I needed to support my family. I needed to make career progression. I needed to learn a lot of new things. And I just needed something to save me, and all that. And I knew the only way I could do it was to save myself. So a lot of people, it depends on their mentality and the people around them when they relocate, So if where you relocate to, maybe everybody there is doing security or something, sometimes it feels as if that's the norm and you just limit yourself. And while other people are challenging themselves into other places, like Baby has said and everything, Baby decided that she's not going to settle. So it just depends on the kind of information you have. As the CEO has said, information is really key, just like data and everything. So we value all these things, and we know that this information that we've packaged for you is meant to take you from A to B. You understand? So yeah, I had to read and everything. We didn't have something like RKY careers during my own time. We had very few Africans in banking and everything. I think most of my jobs, I was the only one in the department then, and all that. So I had to go through a lot of, funny jobs and everything. You don't even want to know, as in, sometimes some of them you almost go crazy. Like, it's almost like depressing. Like, how can you not get a better job? And then everything. I've done the masters, I did another masters, did everything, requalified IXA, requalified as a solicitor and everything. You're spending money and everything. And I now said, look, I'm spending thousands, a lot of money on all these things, and they didn't really help me. Let's be truthful about it. It's not as if because you have masters from University of Dundee or from London Business School or something. Well, maybe London Business School might automatically almost get you a job, but a lot of these other courses, you are still going to have to struggle. And the problem is you don't have the time. So you don't have the time to experiment around and everything. You need to get a job fast. You need to sometimes you might even need to get a sponsor fast and everything. So instead of wasting time going through other routes, going through other people that promise the world and they don't deliver, that's why places like RKY stand out. And that's what we do here. So I had to study, I had to, learn a lot of stuff on my own before I now broke in. It was much easier to break in then. But now that we've had so many things going on, it's a lot more difficult to break in. Let's not deceive you. We're here to tell you the truth. And we're all going to put in, as much work as possible. You get, nobody's going to save anybody. You can only save yourself. And the kind of materials we'll give you will be the best materials and everything. We just upgraded our materials, our training and everything, which we do every 6 months as well. So I don't know if there's any better program out there, but the package ensures that you know what you need to know from day one. So when we finish training you and you get your job, it's not like you're looking at the roof like, as if you're lost or something. No. You would have done KYC with us. You would have passed the project. We would have deemed you competent to give you that certificate. It's not, going to be entirely easy, but it's not going to be difficult. As Baby said, we are with you throughout. It's not like after 1 year, you can decide, would decide that, you don't deserve the bi-weekly meetings. No, the bi-weekly meetings are really a true, powerful tool, which causes us to totally engage with you 24/7. So if you have any issues, you can reach out to any of us. We have different groups, and the CEO will also support you. You want to ask stuff about maybe sponsorship, there's support on that side. Data, there's support, compliance. I will obviously do my best, and my own experience comes from working in different sectors. I've worked in crypto, fintech, I've worked in investment banking, Islamic banking, I've worked in private banking, and all sorts, different types of banks. So I've actually worked on projects. I have an understanding. I've recruited people. I know what you guys need. I know what a KYC analyst needs. And just like part of the slides the CEO put up about compliance, these are the things you need to be competent. So you have a manual, like you have a manual for building Lego blocks. You have a manual for driving and everything. So we are going to take you through the manual. The GMLSG is the manual for KYC AML in the UK. We also have you also have to know the regulators. You have to know the process. So we're going to break all these things down to you and make sure you understand it, that we don't rush our classes and everything. I'm sure most people, that's the reputation we have out there. We are thorough. We have time for everyone. We have a large team here that can handle all the issues, references and everything. You get references at the end, and everything is packaged to make sure that you succeed as well. So the AML side of things also covers transaction monitoring, so that you can monitor transactions. You know what are the red flags, what are the tricks these criminals are using out there, and we're all coming from somewhere where, a lot of people have corrupt politicians, and that even helps because you already have an idea of financial crime. You know about bribery, you know about corruption and this thing. So what you're diving into is not something entirely new or difficult. And even if you have a bank account, that means they've done KYC on you, and you've experienced some form of KYC. You are now going on the other side to perform that same KYC. So that's just reverse knowledge. There's nothing difficult there. You get what I'm saying? You just have to arm yourself. We are bringing in the legislation, GMLSG, the Money Laundering Act 2017. Don't worry, we are breaking it down for you, so you don't even have to read everything. But if you want to go further, you have to read it. We won't lie for you. You have to put in some work as well. So we have OFAC as well. We have sanctions, where we talk about UK sanctions and also the global sanctions. Okay, so you need to understand all the different challenges out there. What are the dual goods? What are the ways that the sanctions are being evaded? What are the jurisdictions where we have challenges? So once you understand all those kind of things, you understand what are the sanction entities, what are the SSIs, what are the SDNs, what are the different sanctions and all that. Then you know where to get the information. And as their CEO also said, you need to know the regulators of your industry. Just imagine you going for an interview and they're asking you about regulators and you don't know. So you need to understand who the regulators are, what you need to do, and a lot of you already have experience. And you can see from our success stories, people are getting different levels of jobs. And even if you start with a small KYC job, 40K, 45K, it's just the beginning. You don't know. Some of the people we've trained, in under a year, they've become managers. Yeah, and some of them are on 80, 90, and that's basically a testament to the hard work you've also put in. So we will expose you to all the laws, everything out there, and that's what we are known for. The GDPR side of things also, we are also talking about everything. We are flexible. If you want to talk about information governance, we are there. But what we cover is normally GDPR. And we also add some bits and pieces. So we also have Thursday sessions whereby you think there's a new area you're interested in. We're not going to run away from any discussion. We've had, just like the CEO said, compliance is all about complying with the laws. So we've even had discussions. This is funny though. We've had discussions about NHS, some of the laws there and everything. And the person got the job. I've never, worked in the NHS and all that. So what we are trying to teach you is to make sure that you know how to research. Wherever you find yourself, you are empowered. We teach you the different tricks we know and AI and everything. I'm trying to make sure that we are rebranding you as a new person for 2025, that this is your year. You are not going to waste time. You're going to jump into it, and you still have 12 months. So if you are getting 12 months for the discount we are giving you, I don't think there's a better deal out there. I don't think there's a better deal out there. So sometimes we know some of our students might have children. Okay, maybe somebody needs 6 months off. They come back, we refresh them. You jump back into the market, you can always catch up, bring your challenges, and we discuss. So that package is really interesting. And on the KYC side of things, just to buttress the point that this information is key. So if I'm asking you now, do you know where there was a lot of information about an allegation that somebody owned a refinery in Malta? And I was quite amused that people were just passing rumors and everything. It's very easy to check all these things. Your mindset will change. And I just jumped on the corporate registry for Malta, and I could find out the owners of that entity and the controllers of that entity within, 5 minutes. So those are the kind of skills we are going to teach you. You can find out who owns a company, who the directors of the company are, where you can get the corporate information and the different corporate registries. Okay? And also, if you are going to report a financial crime to an NFIU, a member of the Egmont Group, you also need to know what is the applicable regulator, applicable authority you have to report to as well. So those are the things we're going to teach you, just to make sure that you guys are over and above any competition you meet out there. There is also, I hope I'm not talking too much, guys, but we just have to break everything down. There's also the interview side of things, where we'll talk about how to prepare you for the interview. We can't be teaching you all these things and not teach you how to use them. So we also have the interview prep, whereby we teach you, okay, this is how you are going to apply for jobs. This is the 20-day challenge. You apply for 20 jobs and let's see what happens. We've optimized your LinkedIn. So everything is just like ready for you. And when they now call you, how do you talk? How do you present yourself? How do you talk about expected salary? Sometimes some people go to interviews and all that, and if they ask them about expected salary, a job that is paying 60,000, you can't tell them you're expecting 30,000. That means you've devalued yourself. Or a job that is paying 40,000, you can't tell them 90,000. They'll think you are not serious, So you should be able to gauge, how much is this job paying? This job, what do I need to know? How do I present myself? How do I prepare for the interview? In what location is this job? Okay, what strategy am I using to apply for jobs? Am I just looking at London, high competition area, or am I looking at low competition area, Wales, Glasgow? You get. So those are the kind of strategies you can use. There is Ireland, there is all sorts. So our mission is to make sure we're getting the job as soon as possible. Sometimes you might have to sacrifice. We've known people that have gone to work in JP Morgan in Bournemouth. Some of them have moved there and they've just taken a room for 3-6 months, lent it, and moved back to London or to wherever they are, originally. So there are different strategies, and all that. Our mission is to get you a job as soon as possible. We can't guarantee that as well, just to make you know. But everything depends on your input as well. If you are someone, you can apply for your jobs. You can do your projects. You can ask questions. You are hungry for knowledge. I think, you are 90% there, to be honest. A lot of what is happening now depends on your discipline. If you can put in 30 minutes, 1 hour a day to read what we have, and once in a while you can discuss with us, then I don't see any reason why you won't be successful. People that have no experience have been successful. So what's the big deal? Why can't you do the same? So that's what it is. We are just going to make sure we convert you into something else and rebrand you as something else. We can advise you on the kind of qualifications you can apply for in this different roles, sanctions, GDPR, KYC, AMN, and all that. We'll talk about technology used there, the software and all that you need to have an idea about. Show you everything, and it's a bird's eye view, so that if you are going to your interview, you are fully packed. The industry knowledge, the sectorial guidance for your industry and everything, you will have to read it, and we'll share that information with you. The 2025 laws and everything will be shared with you. So I think you'll struggle to get a better deal out there, to be honest. So it's going to run forever until you get tired of Lumi and the CEO and everybody. But we have a strong team and everything. We've never been late before. We are highly professional, and when you join, you see the difference. So I hope I've not spoken too much, but if the CEO wants me to go on, I can surely go on.
Thank you so much, Lumi. I think you've actually, right. I think you've actually done it all. You've said it all. You said everything, from what's going to be covered, how we work, and all of that. So, and your own experience as well. So, Sunday says, since classes are basically Saturday and Sundays, are there arrangements in place for people who are unable to attend both classes? Say, for example, one is not available to attend on Saturday. So, for compliance, classes are only on Saturdays. If you don't attend classes or you're unable to, we have the LMS where all classes are recorded and uploaded to within 48 hours. Right. So someone says, is this training enough to work as a KYC analyst in the EU? Lumi.
Yes. The training covers everything. So as I said, it's going to be a global KYC AML training. So it's, the expectations are similar, and we'll talk about the different requirements for each jurisdiction as well. So like now, the UK and the US, you have to comply with the BSA in the US. FinCEN is the one that makes the law. In the UK, you have to comply with GMLS, MLR, and it's the FCA that is in charge, and then you report to the NCA as well. So we'll be dealing with everything. We'll talk about the different privacy laws in the US and how they are different to the UK and all that. So we have a comparative analysis of all the laws and everything, and it's global, and that's how we do it. Yeah. Hope that answers your question.
Right. So guys, let's start dropping the questions. So I hope that answers the question. So let me just quickly wrap up. Companies where our students have landed jobs. We have our students in, do you know what? Randomly, when trying to look for events for the Limitless Without, venue for Limitless Without Borders, I sent a mail to a particular institution, and guess who responded to me? An RKY alumni. That's how far spread our alumni community are currently. We've got students in HSBC, Barclays, JP Morgan, World Pay, FIS, and across board, really. So we'll take a couple of questions now. So just keep dropping your questions. So we've got I left banking 4 years ago. How will my CV be structured to fit into the UK job market? You leave that to the experts. Take the training, and then it's about 5 weeks, I said, yeah. So towards the 3rd week, we're going to reach out. In fact, from the 1st week, we're going to send you a mail for you to fill up what your target role is, and you upload your current CVs. And then if we have any reason to clarify, a consultant will call you to confirm if there's any information they need and guide you accordingly, right? So does it cover gambling sector? Lumi, that's for you.
Yes, it does. So as I said, we are very flexible. So we discuss everything. The laws in the UK are the Money Laundering Act 2017, the Proceeds of Criminal Activity, the Terrorism Act, we have the Fraud Act, we have the Bribery Act, and all those acts. And the GMLS is the one that everybody has to comply with. It covers the gambling industry, and also we can also discuss the Gambling Commission specific challenges, laws, and some of the penalties as well. So yeah, we cover everything, and we are very flexible. It covers the energy sector as well. I can see questions on energy sector. There are a lot of questions, so I'm trying to keep up. There will be a project phase as well, yeah, where you're going to work on real KYC cases. You're going to do KYC work so that, when you go out there, you're competent and all that.
Right, thank you so much, Lumi. Does one need a certification related to the field like SCCA and CIMA? I would say no. SCCA and CIMA are not even like compliance related. Those are for accountants and management accountants. There are certifications that are recommended. However, having a practical work experience is always the first and best thing to do, because most of these certifications in compliance space particularly, they're not cheap. They're like 7K and the likes, and you don't want to start a career change by going the most expensive route when you're not even 100% sure of what your next job title is. And you know why? Because even within the compliance space, there are different certifications that cover different specializations. We have the ICA, we have the ACAMS, we have the CAMS. Lumi, you know the names here of all the different certifications. But the thing is that you get advice on the ones that is recommended for you based on, the current skills or existing skills you also have. So how easy it is it for a healthcare support worker to transition into compliance? Because we've been talking about bankers and lawyers transitioning. Right. So as a healthcare professional, I'm sure you are not born a healthcare professional, right? So you probably have a previous background that can be leveraged as well. Right. Within healthcare as well, there are compliance related rules. However, anyone can transition into compliance, right? You just need to acquire the skill sets, learn from the class, and you are pretty much good to go. However, we also offer other courses like project management, business analysis. We have a session happening 2 to 4 p.m. where our students, anybody on this call is also free to attend, because you hear us talk about work experience. And in the product demo we'll be having at 2 o'clock to 4 p.m., our students who have passed through are currently in our bootcamps will be coming to show you their projects from start to finish. Because at RKY Careers, we are very transparent. When we say we'll give you work experience, we are very bold enough to also show you what those work experiences, not from us, but from those that are actually completed the project. So that you might want to attend that. Probably if you attend that, you combine that with what you've heard today, you might be able to know the area, that works best for you based on your current skill set as well. Are there also recordings for Saturday classes? Of course, there are recordings and they are uploaded to the LMS. Today's session will be uploaded to YouTube. However, Saturday's classes will be uploaded to the LMS. I worked as a police officer, as an investigator. Do I stand the chance if I do this course? Will I get employment without degree? Lumi, I don't know if you can answer that question.
Yes, definitely, because it's the UK. If you've already jackpot or you're planning to jackpot and you get a job, they don't really focus on education. That's why even if somebody has a PhD, like when I was working, I was doing all those funny jobs. And I was working with someone that had a PhD, and we were both sweeping floor now. So just imagine that. So it just depends on your experience and how you've packaged yourself. That's the most important way. And that's what we do here. So people that have no experience in this country, some of them are directors of banks. Some of them are politicians. It's not like Nigeria where you have to have masters, everybody's fighting to do something or the other. No, they are looking at the skills you have, and you can decide to even do some of the courses as well. Like you can do the ICA if you want, you can do the diploma, you can do the postgraduate diploma, the professional diploma, you can do short courses. Some of these ones also add to what you have, and at different stages of your career, you can decide which one you want to do. You get, because you can change your mind that, I'm tired of KYC, I want to move into investigation, which is most likely suited to you. And there are also a lot of jobs in the police here as well. So I believe it depends on what your plans are. If you are planning to either work in the UK or relocate in the UK, yes, I think definitely it would favor you. And if you're also trying to upskill yourself as an international, maybe police officer as well, whereby maybe you are going for seminars, you can also talk to your people, talk to EFCC, or even maybe also apply for the EFCC, because we are talking about financial crime. And the NFIU is very active in Nigeria as well, part of the Egmont group. So if you understand all these things, how to prepare international cases, how to investigate, the knowledge, you get the knowledge you need about the UK and all that, United Nations, EU and all that, I think it will be very helpful as well. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Where is the link to purchase the course? Admin. People don't have the link to secure their slot though before the prices go up. Right, please drop the link. Can I get the recording to the video I joined a few minutes ago? Yes, the recording will be uploaded to YouTube before Monday. So just be on the lookout. If you're following us on Instagram, RKY Careers as well, you'll get notification, and subscribe to the YouTube, RKY Careers. You'll get notification when the recording is up. Will there be a project phase for the bootcamp? If so, how long will it take? You know, the good thing about the compliance bootcamp is different from the other. So, right, so the recording will be up on YouTube. Like I said, subscribe to make sure that you catch up on that. Right. So would there be a project phase? Okay, so I was saying that for the compliance project phase, it works alongside the classes. Unlike other courses, you know, for some project management, product management, they need to build a products from start to finish. However, that's not the way, that's not what compliance people will be doing at work. The work is kind of different, and that's why even the training is shorter. So the project phase for the compliance is not as it is in the project management. By the way, Lumi, I think we need to start working on a demo as well for the compliance people, because I think when we do our product demo, they always ask about compliance. They want to know what happens in the compliance. So probably we should plan a session where compliance people to come showcase, you know, what they do during their boot camp and all of that. Because I think we get it quite a lot. Right, Lumi? Did you hear that?
Oh yes, I did. And if you want, I can share the new slides we have. And
no, not on this call. You want to start training them on the call?
It's up to you.
So one of them is, can I subscribe to get an all-round revamp with compliance? The bootcamp is the service. If you subscribe for the bootcamp, you get everything: the training, the CV optimization, LinkedIn optimization, UK projects, you know, UK work reference on your CV. So you get an update, you get an experience added to all you already have on your CV as well for the projects you complete. So it's very important to complete, because we don't sell or dash off references here. You need to earn it by gaining the experience. So it's more like, you know, working on cases as an internship, and then you get that added to your CV. Right. And then in addition to that, you get post bootcamp support. That's all we've been talking about today. And guess what? Is on a current discount at just £599. I know the reason why I said just. I know £599 is not small money, but guess what? For the value you get and for what you get out there in the market for the same value, I'm not saying you will not see a £300 training. No, don't get me wrong. Anybody out there can just come up with a training. You know, the good thing is that we are not like a bank that you need to go to FCA first. So it's actually cheap to start. But guess what? That's why we are different, because we are not just a side hustle. We are a company that has been recognized not just locally, globally. We are a group of companies, right? And we are accredited by all the necessary bodies here, you know, in the UK. So, you know, if I say that at £599 is very affordable, I actually know what I'm saying, right? So, is the compliance certification also suitable for individuals in the health and social care? So the certification you'll be getting is certificate of completion. If you want to now pursue, you know, professional qualification, you know, that will now depend on the industry you want to get into and what is available for that industry. Right, so I have an LLB and an international law master's, currently pursuing a PhD in international relations. I don't live in the UK, but I want to move there, or any European company. Will employers be willing to hire me? Right, so for you to get jobs internationally, right, so it depends on the skill set you bring to the table. In the European world or UK as well, it's not about degrees or certifications. It's about what do you bring to the table. You know, and again, it's not even just about what you bring to the table now. It's about what more. Okay, you're a project manager, and so what more? Are you that project manager that can also analyze data, that also understand compliance? Are you that marketing professional? You know, that, of course, guess what? People are hiring based on need and not based on job titles or job whatever anymore. This is my startup. I'm the only one. I want somebody else to join me. I know what I can do. However, I know what I need. I want somebody that can do all of the rest. So they want a project manager that is also a data analyst, a product manager, a business analyst. Even though if you apply with a CV that has all of that, you won't even get the interview. But when you are now at the interview, you need to show that you are like a jack of all trades. But your CV needs to be specially done for the particular target role they're advertising for based on the job description. But that's what we do for you, and we coach you to understand better. Right. Did you say project management business analysis masterclass is 2 p.m. today? I said product demo, where our students will showcase the projects and products they've been building within the project phase of the bootcamp. How is the installment payment like? Right. The installment payment is using Klarna, ClearPay, PayPal, Pay Later. So depending on the one you go for, it's either between 3 months to 12 months. Some are 3 months, some are 4 months, some are 12 months. So can anyone without experience do this? So for you to know which one, just click on the link, the rkycareers.com/courses/pay. Click on compliance when you get there on the drop down list, and then continue to. Are costs paid for in a lump sum, or can we pay in 2 or 3 installments? So if you're paying with Klarna, it's 3 installments, ClearPay 4 installments, PayPal 3 installments, and then Pay Later gives you up to 12. But I think some will be like a loan facility. What's the latest day for payments? That will be as soon as possible, because the class starts next week Saturday. So between now and next week Saturday. And definitely not last minute, right? What is the average salary across sector for compliance roles? I think we showed that right on the screen. We've got roles from 60K, 50K, 40K, 30. It depends on, the skill sets. Guess what? The same individual with the same skill sets, a company might be willing to offer you 35K because that's their budget, while another person will be willing to offer you a 60K job. So it depends on the one you get first. But the most important thing is to continue to, put yourself out there in the market, regardless of the first job you get. The good thing is that you're not in a career path that the highest you can get is, 20K, 30K or thereabouts. Right. Where is the link for the bootcamp? Please share the link. Can someone just completing PM, looking to work in healthcare, do compliance also? Why not? Right? Why not? I told you that just before I joined this call. I wish I could show you the chat. So a marketing expert reached out to me and was saying that, you need to tell your marketing students to actually consider gaining compliance skills. I had some interviews just recently where they were asking me about AML KYC because they are startups, So employers now want people to bring more to the table. Right. So, but you want to be sure, what is that more you want to take to the table? Are you the project manager that wants to add compliance, or a data analyst? Or are you that one that, so it depends on what you want to add to what you already have. Will returning students get a discount? Yes. If you're a returning student, you get £199 off. That brings the price down to £400. However, that returning students must have paid for a full bootcamp and not just Excel class. If you are paying in Naira, chat with the numbers in the chat box. They'll tell you what the Naira discounted amount is. How much is the bootcamp? £599. For the installments payments, do you have to finish paying before you can access the class? If you are using Klarna, ClearPay, and all of that, the installments will be between you and them, and we don't need to worry about that. So once you just pay your first installments, they'll take it monthly after that. If you want to take more than one course, is there a discount? Yes. However, you need to pay full for the first course and then you get discount on the second one. If you want to pay for the two together, so that's $599 plus 400, that's $999. So it's not silly at all. It's the right question to ask. Right. I think we've come to the end of today's session. But before then, let me just wrap up what I got on my slide. For those of you who I talked about the podcast, if you want to search for the podcast, Limitless and Thriving is the name. It's on YouTube, it's on Spotify, it's on Apple, and you can see some of our stuff there. So like I said, you can pay in installments, Klarna, ClearPay, PayPal, Pay Later, and all of that. So by the way, we've spent 2 hours on this call. How many people have bought their tickets to the Limitless Without Borders events? How many people have bought their tickets now to the event? It's still in June, 21st of June. Children are welcome. There's going to be awards. There's going to be speakers. There's going to be exhibition, and there's going to be loads of recruiters and HR professionals who are going to link you to your next opportunity. And guess what? It's an event for us, by us. So you don't want to miss it. So how many of us have bought the tickets between when we started this class and now? Nobody. Wow. Wow. You see why it's always very. You see why it's always a bit. I won't say emotional when it looks like people you are really fighting for out there. Me, I mean, if you know me, if you follow my personal LinkedIn and all of that, you see how much I used to fight for immigrants. I'm always posting, oh, immigrants deserve a place on the table, this and that. And then I now say, okay, I'm having 1,000 attendees. Do you know how many people have questioned us that 1,000 attendees? Who are the people? Who are they? What are the caliber of people coming? There's some people who reach out for partnership and they say, what are the caliber of people coming? Are there people that are this? Are they? And I'm always like, what kind of stupid questions are these people asking us about? Do they think immigrants? Do they think that we have a? Do they think that we are not like normal human being? And then again, when I now come, all I need to do is to make sure that 1,000 people attend the event to make a point and prove that we are a market. We are what anything that every other person that is not an immigrant gets out there. Either job offers, sponsorship, awards, grants, or whatsoever. Right. So I've said I'm bringing 1,000 immigrants, and I've said we are high caliber people to the LWB events this year, and we need to prove them wrong that we are worth it. Right, and I'm sure you guys agree with me as well that we are worth it, regardless of whether we're not born. The fact that we're not born in this country or we're not born in the UK does not mean that we are less of a compliance professional or a project manager. We can compete, with any other person out there. I don't know if you guys agree with me, though. Do you guys agree with me? Can you guys hear me? Right. Ibrahim agrees. Blessing agrees. Beautiful. Olasumbo agrees. Beautiful. Anyways.
Absolutely.
Dame agrees. Esther agrees. Right. I'm almost done. Right. So I think that's about it, really. So we also have an affiliates program that allows you to refer people to us and earn from it. Right. Oh, Jimmy, thank you for that clarification. So Jimmy says some people think that immigrants are those people that came through oceans. So maybe refined immigrants will do. So we should call ourselves refined. In fact, we are expatriates. So this event is for expatriates. Why should we welcome people into our own country and pay them 5 times what we paid the regular people? And then we are here, they are telling us to go and do care jobs and some other kind of jobs. So we are refined expatriates. Thanks for that, Jimmy. So I want to see 1,000 expatriates at Limitless Without Borders in June, right? Because we need to prove a point that we are actually we are expatriates. So anyways, talking about affiliate program, we've got the affiliate program that allows you to earn when you refer people to us. You can earn as much as £60 for every successful referral. Isn't that wonderful? Right. We've got the Immigrant Founders Community. I think we already talked about the group at the beginning. And then we've got our upcoming events this afternoon at 2 o'clock. We are starting with the product demo where our students will be showcasing their products. Right. We've got the Excel training starting on the 19th, project management on the 3rd of May, SMPO, digital marketing, all on the 3rd of May. And we've also got our students showcasing their data analysis projects as well on the 12th of May. And we have our tech summit on the 5th of May, which is next week as well. So I think we've taken a lot of questions already. We've had it's been lovely speaking to over 130 something of you. Right. So Christiana, you don't need to convert the money to pounds. Chat you don't need to convert pounds to naira. If you're actually in Nigeria, send a message to our numbers and then we'll let you know what the naira price is. It's been great having each and every one of you here. I look forward to seeing you all in our physical events in June, because as much as it's great to meet people virtually, it's always good to see face to face as well. So make sure you watch the recording of this session. Make sure you secure your slots. Do not miss this opportunity, because my own goal is to make sure that as expatriates, we are able to position ourselves for the opportunities that abound in the land, either in the career space or the business space. For those who do not know, we also have a business coaching and business accelerator program for people who want to go into business, start a business, build 6 to 7 figures business. There's nothing stopping you from having a 6 or 7 figures business just because you don't hold a British passport yet. It's possible and you can do it. So I wish you the best, and I look forward to seeing you in class next week as well as at the events in June. Have a great evening, guys.